Deb, Deb, there's a snake in the house. Find that helps.
I bought some at Kmart, but I have to go to my proper one in maybe.
This is from Kmart. The one that I'm wearing now. This one here from Kmart. It's so good.
I bought some and all my trips come
I
like
know, well.
with the stripes, this one. I bought like a sport one,
Yeah.
but it's the open one. So when I put this...
Hey, Louie. Hey, baby. Hello, my baby. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Have you been waiting for me? Have you been waiting for me? Good morning. I have to go to the shower. It's so muggy and I'm all sticky. Black Friday sales have started to arrive. Hello and welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. The days are just flying really fast. Now, as you would have known or noticed from today's video, I filmed a little bit too much yesterday, and so that video is going to be cut in half, and you're going to see half of it today, your time, and half of it tomorrow, your time, I think. And I apologize for the breeze, but I really like the lighting out here, and it's nice and comfortable and casual, and it's a beautiful, nice backdrop for me while I'm talking. So please, I'll try to edit out the sounds, but I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. Anyway, Vlogmas Day 4. Let's recap. Yesterday, I went to Costco and I finally realized why everyone was stocking up on toilet paper. Apparently, Woolies are having some sort of situation, and so they're low on stock. And I actually saw on Facebook today, a friend of mine posted that Coles is likely to do that too now. So hence why yesterday at Costco, everyone was stocking up on toilet paper. We were just stocking up because we'd run out dry. So the bundle that I bought will last us a few weeks. I think we'll be fine. I don't need to stress. It kind of gave me COVID and that kind of era vibes, which was silly, really. Anyway, this morning I got up early and I got up for a walk with a friend, and then I went to a Chyro. I've started seeing a chiropractor in the last month as part of my self-servicing of my body, as I mentioned, or I will be mentioning in today's Q&A. That's going to go as part of this video. I've started seeing a Chyro, and it's funny. I tend to carry a lot of stress in my neck, and I have a high curve in my back, middle spine, which causes me to sort of not stand up properly. And I do a lot of desk work. I've always done a lot of desk work, which means that I have really bad posture when I'm sitting. So anyway, we're working on that in an attempt to try and maintain my body for as long as I possibly can. So I did that, and then I went for another little walk. They'd like you to go for a little walk after they manipulate your back. And along the way, I also stopped off at my local post office because I had some alerts that some of the damage that I did during the Black Friday sales have started arriving. Now, in my defense, a lot of those are actually Christmas presents, and I'm buying in advance. I am pretty much all done and organized. There's only maybe one present left to do, or one or two little presents left to do. So I'm feeling really proud of myself. This is the first time that I've actually gotten myself all organized so far in advance. So tap on my shoulder. What am I going to do for the rest of the day? It's 11 o'clock now. Half the day is gone, but I've got about 2 to 3 hours of editing to do. And then I have to fold the laundry that I did yesterday. It's still waiting to be folded. And I have some cleaning to do. I'm not going to take you along with me for that. Basically, I'm taking today as an opportunity to sort of catch up and give myself a breather so that I don't get burnt out during Vlogmas, having to just edit till late hours. Last night, I stayed up till 10 o'clock editing and uploading. Sometimes my internet plays up and it doesn't export the file correctly, and then I've got to give it a couple of attempts and then it needs to upload to YouTube. And I like to finish off each video on the day so that I start the next day afresh. Anyway, I'm sorry for the rambling. I just thought you'd be able to catch up. How have you been? Let me know in the comments below after today's video whether you like the Q&A, if there's any other questions. I know I'm getting a lot of feedback saying that you will like this kind of vlogmas, these like a vlogs. So I'm quite happy to keep doing it. I enjoy it too. I find that it's a more responsive way of interacting with you. So anyway, you'll be seeing me for the next, 20 odd days still. So there's plenty more of this to come. Last night for dinner, yesterday was a bit of a schmozzle. It didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. So dinner ended up being just the rotisserie chicken that I got from Costco and a salad. And that was it. That's all that I managed to get up to yesterday. However, for tonight, I have something special, which I'll put into the video that I'll be organizing for the day after for you tomorrow. I'll be editing it tomorrow, but you'll be seeing it the following day. Now, just to answer a quick question, someone commented that they noticed that I'm uploading the same video on both channels, Deborah After 50 and Deborah After 50 Unlocked, because what I'm trying to do is see if my second channel can sort of take off organically on its own without me, I guess, using the same viewers, because I find that my Deborah After 50 has grown as a result of me doing a lot of Kmart videos and Target and Big W and shopping vlogs and hauls and things like that. Whereas my Deborah After 50 Unlocked is more about this type of vlogs where I talk and I sit and chat with you and just share more of my life. And so I'm hoping that YouTube will pick up on that and start promoting that second channel to people that are more interested in, say, an Australian YouTuber and what life in Australia is like. So if you follow me on both channels, thank you so much. You're not obliged to have to watch it on both channels, but just for your benefit, know that anything that I post on my Deborah After 50 original channel, every time someone watches it and watches through the ads, I actually get like a couple of cents at the end of the month per 1,000 view on this channel, on my primary channel. Whereas on my second channel, Deborah After 50 Unlocked, I'm not monetized yet. I've just gotten to about 1,200 hours and I need 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers before I can get monetized. So that's a little way away still to get monetized. So if you watch me on that channel, your support of me it generates the watch hours to get me monetized, whereas watching me on my original channel, Deborah After 50, generates a little bit of revenue through AdSense. So it's up to you. You're more than, you choose how you want to support me, whether through the hours on my new channel or the AdSense on my original channel. And if you'd like to support me on both, I'll be forever grateful because it'll get the second channel monetized and me able to create more of this kind of content on that channel primarily. Anyway, oh gosh, that's 7 minutes that I've been talking. I will go inside now and do I'll open today's calendar and then I will go and edit the questions that I answered in yesterday's video, in yesterday's shoot. I'll add it to this video today. But I will see you tomorrow for some new content. Anyway, let's get to the questions. There were some really great ones yesterday. And I think I'll recap. If you'd like me, if you're comfortable with me actually mentioning your name in the video, please let me know and I will mention you. Don't mind. I think it'll actually be good to know, what am I trying to say? If you're comfortable with me saying your name on camera and reading out your comments, please let me know and I will do so, because there are so many of you that are regulars that I'm getting to know through the comments and I'd love to be able to give back to you somehow. All right, before I spill all that, let's see. A viewer asked me, what hobbies do I have? Well, I used to like playing tennis, and I used to play from a young age. When my parents migrated to Australia, they introduced us, or they introduced my sister and I to tennis, and we used to play tennis at, back in the day, if anyone lives in the area, let me know if you remember it, the West Footscray tennis courts. They're just outside the West Footscray, the Footscray tennis, no, not Footscray, the Footscray football oval. There used to be an army barrack, an army hall, and then next to that used to be the West Footscray tennis courts. And I used to play there. And I used to play with a Mr. Gray. He used to be an older, retired gentleman. You will freak out at this. Half-hour lessons used to cost us 20 cents back in 1979, 1980, those years, when I was 11, 12, 13. That's it. He would get paid 20 cents per half-hour lesson. Unheard of. He used to do it for the passion of the game. Anyway, he was my coach, and I used to play tennis. And yes, so that was my hobby that I kept all through adult years, up until I hurt my knees. About 4 years ago, I hurt my right knee, and I sprained it somehow at the gym, and I tore a meniscus. And I had to have surgery on it. I had an arthroscopy on it, and that cleared the right knee. And then I don't know how it happened, but the same thing happened to my left knee. But with my left knee, I had absolutely no idea of when it happened, how it happened. So that needed to get another arthroscopy. Well, anyway, it took me a long time to recover. As if you recall, last year, I would have mentioned in some of my videos that I was suffering from a meniscus tear, and I was having surgery, and I was on crutches, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't wear high heels. Anyway, if you go back to some of my older videos, you'll probably hear about the saga. Anyway, so I stopped playing tennis, and I just haven't gotten back into it again, for many reasons. I do plan on getting back into it, but it's just not right. It's just not happening right now. I used to also do a lot of sewing. I used to go to a girls-only Catholic primary school in high school, and sewing was the thing. They used to teach us how to sew. So I took up sewing, and back in the 80s and 90s, I actually used to make my own clothing. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money, so making my own clothes was actually a creative outlet for me, but it was also a way of getting some new dresses, some new outfits that I could wear immediately and fit to my size. So I used to enjoy sewing, but once the children came along, that sort of went by the side. Another thing that I enjoy doing is, what other hobby do I have? I enjoy cooking. I enjoy decorating. Don't know that I have a flair for it, but I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy decorating. And one of my main hobbies now, which has become my work, is YouTube. I love editing. I love creating a story and putting all the films together, and just create a story that connects with you, my viewer. And I just love making it as, what can I say? I can just like making it as creative as possible. I enjoy watching content where there's a lot of things going on, and vlogs where there's a lot of things going on. And so I'm trying to learn to be better at making that kind of content. And hence why I keep doing a Vlogmas, because the fast pace of having to film, edit, and upload makes me have to learn to be quicker and become better at editing, storytelling, and all the things that go into creating a video for me. I don't know whether anyone else, I know many of my viewers have their own channel, and so understand where I'm coming from. But for someone who doesn't have a YouTube channel, you perhaps don't understand, you don't know how much actually goes into creating a film like this. So anyway, so yes, now my main hobbies are cooking, decorating, and definitely YouTube is my biggest one, which I've been lucky enough to be able to turn into work. It doesn't pay me as well as my other full-time job that I used to have, which is as an accountant. But who knows, maybe if the luck of the gods will shine on me, maybe my channels will take off. By all means, if you'd love to share my video, sorry, obvious plug here, if you'd love to share my channel with family and friends, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. Did that answer your question about what hobbies do I have? I hope so. Do let me know in the comments below. Okay, I think I need another drink. Okay, why was prescribed iron, and what do I take, and how often do I have blood tests? Okay, so when I turned 50, I started having to get, when you turn 50 as a woman, you start having to go and get regular blood tests, breast examinations, pap smears, things like that. And this year, I'm 26, about to turn 27. I wish I was 26, about to turn 27. 56, about to turn 20. Oh my God, 56, about to turn 57 in January. I'm sorry, I don't think my mouth is moving and connecting with my brain today. So I'm going to be turning 57. And basically what happened was my health insurance covers me to get a little rebate back on my gym membership. And so when I realized that, I was having to pay for my 3 months renewal of the reformer Pilates that I was doing. And what happened was it sort of coincided with me finding out that I could get a little bit of money back by joining a gym. And so what that needed, though, was me to go see a physician, a GP, and ask them to fill out a form. So long story short, my usual doctor has moved all the way to Mill Park, and it was just a little bit further away from me than I like to go. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try a new doctor somewhere closer to home, convenient. Anyway, so I went to see a new doctor, and I adore her. She's not your standard doctor. She's the type of doctor that just tells you, this is what you have to do, which, I don't mind that. But she's eventually signed the form after a couple of sessions. But she said to me, women at our age, and she was a couple of years older than me, said, we need to get our bodies checked up regularly. It's like owning a car. You get it serviced. You don't go and take it to the service department when it has problems. You go and take it to the service department every few thousand kilometers, every 6 months, or whatever it is. We have to start treating our body as women of a certain age. We need to start treating our body like we treat a car. Get it regularly serviced, get it regularly checked up. So it got me thinking. So I started getting blood tests because I was feeling tired. And also I wasn't sure whether I was still in perimenopause or I was in menopause. And here I'm going to lose some men if anyone's watching. But I'm going through the change of life, basically. I had my last visit on my last physical visit, the monthly, on the 1st of June. And before then, I'd missed it for a good 6 months. And she said, well, you've got to wait 12 months before you can claim to be in menopause. So let's get started on doing some blood tests. And I was getting blood tests done every 2 years. He said, no, once you hit 50, you're going to get done every year because you need to start creating a baseline of how your blood work is. So I got blood work done. And she identified that I was low in iron. And she said, well, basically, because you're not having a period, I don't understand why you're low in iron. So let's do some more investigation. But in the meantime, let's put you on iron tablets. So I am on Malforstar. I'll put it up here on the screen so that you know once I go back inside what I take. So yes, so the aim is to get blood work every year so that there is a baseline. So now I've identified that I'm low in iron, but I'm not anemic. And ever since I started taking the iron tablets, I do feel like I have a little bit more energy. There was another issue that I'm dealing with that I will talk about later on in another video. Once I start seeing some improvement, and I'll share with you, because I think as women of a certain age going through life change, the time of life or life changes, anyway, whatever it's called, when you're going through menopause. It's good for us to share with each other, because I know when my mum went through it, I must have already left home and I had no idea that she was going through it. And I didn't know whether she had mood swings, at what age she went through menopause. She can't remember and tell me. And any other female relatives that I have are all in Italy, so I don't have the direct lineage and connection to be able to ask an aunt or anything like that. Long story short, hope I've answered that question for you. Next is, what herbs did I use in the pasta sauce, the Napoli sauce that I made? Basically, I have the Italian flag of spices next to my stove. I have a red chili, salt, which I normally buy Himalayan pink salt, and I have the mixed Italian spices, which is just a combination that you buy from the supermarket. It's called Italian spices, Italian herbs, and that's what I use. I think it's got basil, parsley, anyway, a whole mix. I don't make it. I just buy it off the shelf, and that basically, those three basically go in everything that I cook. So that answers that question. How long did I cook it for? Good question. I am terrible at telling you, at following a recipe. So when I cook instinctively. So I cooked the sauce until the tomatoes had broken down and they were cooked through and the moisture had evaporated, but not so much that it was a really dry sauce. I kind of get the feel for it. The tomatoes were mashable, so if you squash them with a fork, they break up. It's basically at that point. And I think I only added a cup of water at the start just to make sure the tomatoes didn't stick to the bottom of the pot. So I'm sorry, it's really an instinctive time. You can't really leave the sauce on the stove top and go off and do something and distract yourself. You kind of need to be there, stir it regularly and just check and keep an eye on it to make sure that it's not burning, it's not sticking, because each stove works differently. Where I am now, where I live now, we are on bottle gas, and ever since I moved to a house with bottled gas as opposed to natural gas, I find that everything I cook takes less time to cook on the stove top. Whereas on natural gas in my old house, it used to take me a little bit longer. So even then, if I said cook it for 20 minutes, it depends on the stove that you have. And as I said, I'm on bottled gas, and I find that bottled gas tends to cook, it has a hotter flame, so things cook a lot more quickly for me. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to help you out in giving a direct time to cook it for. It's basically until the tomatoes are cooked, and when you hit them with a fork, it sort of mashes. And then I just blended it all, and you could see the color. Okay, and the final question is, do we get snakes in our backyard in the summer? Touch wood. I have never had a snake in this house. However, I did have a snake come into my house in South Morang when we used to live there before we moved here. I'll tell you the story because it is absolutely hilarious. So I can't remember whether it was Tiffany or Isaac. No, it would have been Tiffany. I had a newborn. I had Tiffany, and my husband, when we had Tiffany, was working extremely long hours. He used to own a business, and he used to leave home at 8 o'clock in the morning and come back after midnight at night. And I used to be on my own at home and basically looking after the baby. And anyway, one night he came home at about after midnight. I was sound asleep. He comes home, and all I know, he comes up, it was double-story house, so he came upstairs, he came inside, went to the kitchen, which was downstairs, past the laundry, went into the kitchen, and then came running up the stairs to wake me and say to me, Deb. I'm like, I'm sound asleep. Tiffany's sleeping, so I'm like deeply asleep. He says, and I said, what? And he said to me, there's a snake in the house. And I'm like, what? There's a snake in the house. And I said to him, what do you want me to do about it? And he said, you've got to help me. I don't know what to do with a snake. And I'm half asleep. And I said to him, what do you want me to do about a snake? I said to him, where is the snake? And he said, it's in the laundry. I've closed it in the laundry. I saw it slithering in and I've closed it in the laundry. I don't know what to do. And I said to him, well, call the police. And he says to me, why do I call the police? And I said, well, because don't they swear to protect and aren't they there to protect us and save us? So anyway, he said, no, I'm not calling the police. So I called the police and I said to them, hi, I think I called 000. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't know who else to call. We have a snake in the house. So they put me through to the Mill Park police station. And the constable there picked up the phone and said, how can I help you? And we're like, hi, we're in South Morang and we have a snake in the house and I don't know what to do. And he said, why are you calling the police? And I said, well, because I thought you're there to protect us. So he said, okay, ma'am, what's your name? And I gave him my name and the address and said, let me just put you on hold and I'll come back to you. So, mind you, this was the time before Google, right? So I couldn't just go and Google it back then, 24 years ago. Tiffany's 24, so it's 24 years ago. So he went away, came back on the line, and he said, ma'am, you need to call a snake catcher. Here is the number that we have on file. So I called the snake catcher, and luckily he came within an hour. Basically, he came, and the snake, Kevin had seen the snake slither into the laundry. He closed the door so it wouldn't go away, put a towel underneath it so it wouldn't come back out. And then when the snake catcher came, he opened the laundry. I mean, like, we're in the kitchen far, far away. And the snake catcher came with a big sack and like this little rod with like a coil at the front. And he came and basically went into the laundry. Couldn't see the snake because the snake had gotten behind we had a deep freezer and a washing machine. Well, of course, the snake had gone underneath. So he and Kevin had to, close the door. I had the towel underneath it. He and Kevin went inside, had to move out the chest freezer out of the way. And there was the snake. And it was a black-eyed snake, which apparently are quite poisonous. So, yes, he caught it. And you know what they do when they catch snakes? I thought they would kill them. No, they go and release them back in the nature. I'm like, it's poisonous. Why don't you, I don't know, go kill it? Well, apparently they're native to the area and sometimes they make a home visit. And yes, so in South Morang, in suburbia, we did have a snake, but luckily, touch wood, we haven't had any snakes here. We do have a blue-tongued lizard that lives in our garden. You would have seen it in one of my recent videos where the lizard took a dip into my pool. Yes, so no, we don't get snakes. Fingers crossed I don't get any. We do have a lot of rocks, but we do have Daisy that keeps an eye on the garden. So, yeah, no, fingers crossed we don't get any snakes. Let's see what's in the box for day 3. No, day 4. Get your act together, Deborah. Come on. Okay, this is the Creme de Corpse. So it's a body cream. And let's see. Doesn't have a strong scent at all. I might have to actually do some research on Kiehl's and see if they don't put any fragrances in their products, because this has got only a very mild scent and it gets absorbed by the skin really quickly. I like it. I'll put that in the bathroom and use it after a shower. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.